Welcome to the University of Essex Angels at Essex and the University Enterprise Zone. I have with me today Dinal Ahmed, who has been successful in pitching at one of our live pitch events that we did in conjunction with the Essex County Council, Colby Enterprise Agency, under the Essex Business Accelerator program. So, first of all, Dinal, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Good afternoon, John, and thanks for bringing me onto your show. Really appreciate that. Myself, So I'm Dean Al Ahmed, as you quite mentioned, and I'm a qualified accountant, and I actually work in a firm in Essex. I've lived in Essex all my life, and so I'm born and bred around here. And I would say that while I was growing up, I had a normal upbringing, and my family owned quite a few restaurants. And so I've been working in the food industry for about 20 years. I've got vast amounts of experience in that, and that's where my passion for food comes from. An interesting fact that I'd like to tell people was that my grandfather, he was a farmer. And then he came in the 1930s to this country, 1940s. And then my father, he was a tailor here, and I'm an accountant. So I went through the education system, and I like to say that because it makes me humble to see where my roots are, what my father did, and where I've come. So I like to throw that in. So that's me and my family background. As we'll go on to discuss why I've chosen Foodilize as my name for my company.
Please do. Tell us about Foodilize. What does it do?
Okay, so as I mentioned, obviously, I have passion in food, and I've worked in food for a long time. And I was even a sleeping partner, as you call it, a quiet investor in a food business in Essex. And we've seen how the likes of Just Eat have come in, and they've actually helped bring technology into the food sector, which is great. You fire an app open and you order your food, and a few minutes later, there's someone knocks on the door and you've got your food, which is great. And what it's done over the years, it's made that interaction between the restaurant and the customer very impersonal. I mean, I actually remember working in the restaurant days when a customer used to come in, and you kind of knew them by their name, you knew them by the voice when they used to phone up and order. We knew exactly who it was. And obviously, with the modern technology, that's lost. And so I've seen the transition and the growth of Just Eat, and it started to get me thinking in my own business is that it's so impersonal, and how can we actually bring a bit of personality back? And as the years went on, I wanted to concentrate on my career, so I didn't have time for my business, so I kind of sold that, and that was done. And it came to a point where the food industry, it didn't have a single platform to actually help itself. And by that, what I mean is that if you wanted to show a menu, there wasn't a dedicated platform. If you wanted to tell your customers about something that you're launching, there wasn't a dedicated menu. And the food industry, it's got a lot of food wastage as well. There's a lot of food waste, and there wasn't a channel for that. And it just got me thinking, what can we do to actually give the food business a channel to be able to, to actually give them all the tools in one platform? And we thought the best way to actually solve the impersonal interaction issue, make it more personal, and give them the tools, is to actually bring a socializing aspect to it. So that's how we brought food and socializing together, and we called it Foodilize. So you're socializing with food, and the business itself. I mean, the concept is quite broad, because we're trying to target the likes of restaurants and takeaways, and food stalls, and anything to do with food. And I mean, if I ask you a question, John, if you wanted to organise an event, wedding or a party or something like that, and if you wanted to find catering, where would you go? You would probably ask friends or do Google search, something like that.
Exactly. You look at the venue and you ask the venue, then you look at outside caterers, you go down all the different channels to try and find the best mix or the best connections and then you ask word of mouth.
Exact word of mouth, yeah. And well, word of mouth is so and so, or so and so knows so and so, and it is a form of a network, and that's exactly what Foodilize is. And wouldn't it be great where all of that was available in one platform? So you go in, you type in catering in your area, and it will show you a list of all the catering. So you can then phone them up and make that connection. It's all there, and if you wanted to actually if you wanted to order a takeaway, you want to see the food. Sometimes you don't know what you want to order. You see the menu. Yeah, I mean, for example, I used to own an Indian restaurant. So if I opened up a Just Eat, and they've got a nice dish there, like a jalfrezi, but I mean, I might not fancy jalfrezi that day. So what our platform does, it will have videos of that restaurant. That the restaurants will post their videos, say, "Oh, try our jalfrezi," or "Try our buna," or it might be a fish and chip shop where they just, their fish and chip looks so delicious. So you see that and you think, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want to go for. So it's a place where you can really like interact with the business and see what they've got to offer. And yeah, so Foodilize is just our version of how we're trying to bring the business and the customer together, and that's what we're focusing on.
I like the way that you have approached this, both from an internal view from the restaurant business, but also from an external view as a consumer and customer. And you've put the two aspects together to come up with this. You've looked at where the deficiencies are on both sides, and that creates an opportunity, and that solves a problem that people might not initially recognize, but when you explain it, it becomes apparently obvious. And it's the most obvious problems which, when you find a solution, give the greatest satisfaction to all the parties concerned. So I like that. So tell me, how did you find out about the Essex Business Accelerator program?
Yeah, John, do you know, actually, starting up a business, you will know, is daunting. And you want all the help that you can get. And that was one of the struggles. I mean, I was looking left and right to find help, and and then one day I'm actually joined with my Brentwood Council's mailing list, just to keep up to date. And one of these emails actually said, startups, business, would you like to go on a free 7-week course? And I thought, you know what, that's exactly what I need. That's how I need it. Maybe I'm doing something wrong in my business thinking, in my approach. And if I can get any sort of help, I'll take it. And so I actually received the email, and I was really grateful. And I phoned up Colby, and I explained how I got their details, and I explained to them very briefly about my business concept. And they said, yes, this would be a program that would be exactly befitting of your need. And so it was through my local Brentwood Council that I actually got introduced to Colby and the Weave.
Okay, so how did Colby and the Weave team actually help you?
In one phrase, I think they have helped me to focus on exactly what my business offering was. Because I'm kind of one of those people that have this idea in my head, and when I try and explain it, I go off so many different tangents. So I will talk about this angle and that angle, and when you talk to people, that's not what you want. You want to keep their attention, and Colby has been great at the Weave. Sorry, has been great at honing that. And if you ever do get a chance to see some of the Weave videos, my week 1, 2, and 3 presentations were appalling. And by the time we got to the last one, which was the pitch, Colby and the Weave helped me nail it down to such a, to my mind, such a nice art that when I presented it, it actually came off exactly the way I would like to. And I couldn't have done it without Colby or the Weave.
Certainly, the Angels at Essex offered the pitch as, if you like, an incentive to the program, because we foresaw that there might be an opportunity for a business to actually go further on that particular program, and we are set up to enable that to happen. Did you know about Angels at Essex before you actually went on the program, or before you presented on our pitch day?
I have to say I have heard of Angels at Essex, but as I was saying, that when you start a business, it's really daunting, and I just didn't know how to approach them. And I knew if I approached them, they would say, "Tell me about your business," and I'll be like, "I don't know." And I knew that there's no point contacting the Angels at Essex if I don't have something to present them with. And I actually found out about that we're presenting to Angels at Essex quite later on in the stage in the Weave. And when I heard it, I'm like, wow, yeah, this is great. Even if I can just pitch and gain feedback as to, one of the biggest problem is, John, I'm sure you'll agree with me, is that when you got an idea, it's your baby. And regardless of what other people say, whether it's bad idea or good idea, it doesn't really matter, because it's your baby. But if you ask friends and family, they'll always go ahead with what you're saying. And that's why the Angels at Essex was really great at validating your idea, because I could have quite merrily carried on with my idea and thinking it's a great idea without actually getting it validated by an independent third party, such as yourselves at Angels at Essex. And I think for any entrepreneurs or startups, that's the biggest kind of fear, is that your friends will actually tell you it's a great idea, but without an independent, such as Angels at Essex, without them validating your idea, you could be spending tons of money in a pipe dream. And so that's why it was really great to actually very early on in my startup stage of the company, that Angels at Essex recognized something was there that we can work with. And certainly if Angels at Essex said, yeah, it's not a great idea, but you can do this, and I would have taken that feedback on, or it would have told me, no, this path is not worth pursuing. It's a great validation. That's what I can say.
Thank you for the compliment. Have you actually attended any of the Space to Grow webinars, the Investment Readiness webinars that we run?
And do you know the Space to Grow? I wasn't aware of them until I actually came onto the pitch, and I've actually seen them on LinkedIn, and I've seen that they run various webinars. And just as my busy period at work starts to die down, I'll be on those. I'll be registering myself on those. Yeah.
Yes, I can thoroughly recommend them to anybody who is getting ready or is thinking of going to pitch for funding. And even if it's not appropriate for you at the end of the day, the webinars are free. So
yeah,
you only use your time.
Exactly.
There's no other cost involved.
Exactly.
So you've obviously presented to the Angels at Essex platform. You've presented the pitch. Were you successful?
I'm pleased to say, I'm very pleased to say that I am. Although I do not wish to discuss how much exactly was awarded, but I can say yes, the Angels at Essex liked my idea, and we're now pursuing further as to the actual next stage of the business. So I'm really pleased to say yes, I was.
Yes, and I certainly feel that there's going to be a greater opportunity for you going forward. And on behalf of the Angels at Essex platform and the team, I would like to say good luck on that score, because I think you've got something there. I think you've got an idea, and once it's honed and perfected, I think it's going to go a lot further.
Thank you
So,
very much, John. Thank you.
would you like to use the services of the University of Essex in the future?
Without doubt, without doubt. I mean, one of the biggest barriers to business is credibility. I mean, if I was to try and sell my product to a business, the very first question they would say is like, "Who are you?" Because obviously when you're starting off, nobody knows you, and there's no credibility. So I think the University of Essex supporting the business and giving it the validation that I really need is one of those credentials that you're very proud of, and you can quite easily go to a restaurant and say, look, this is my product. It is with the backing of the University of Essex, and then you can actually open up a sales meeting with that credibility. So yes, I cannot wait to work with Essex, and without a doubt, I would be recommending anybody who is thinking of actually going down the line of starting their own business to actually explore all these opportunities. That's free. That's free. Just even if they know their business quite well, but these are free events that they should take advantage of.
Yes, and I think the general public sort of think of universities as places where businesses spin out. But here we have a prime example of a business which wasn't associated with the university, which has spun into the university and will then boomerang out into the business world, and taking advantage of the stepping stone that the university can give it along that way. That's a big step that it can take.
Exactly.
And people don't realize that universities are there to do it.
Yeah.
And here at University of Essex, we're good at that. That's something that we can help businesses with, and we would like to help more like you. So that's less about the University of Essex. What about the future of your business? Where do you want your business to go? Where do you want to be in 5 years' time, 10 years' time? What's the future?
This is going to be a prediction that I'm going to make. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a prediction, and then I'm going to explain my reasons behind it. So in 5 years, I would like to have at least 100,000 businesses signed up onto the platform, and I would like about 1 million users, so that's the end consumer, to be signed onto the platform, and I would like our company to generate revenues of around £10 million at least. In 5 years, and although it's ambitious, I can tell you the actual potential of the business, because we're not it's restaurants and food. Everyone loves to eat, right? Regardless of what country you are, you love to eat, and there's restaurants in every country. So the idea is truly scalable, but we can actually go to any country, and we can actually sell our product. So I think the idea is there, and just yourself, John, if you wanted to go on holiday, whether it will be within the UK or let's say for example Turkey, right? Right now, thanks to thanks to Expedia, and thanks to TripAdvisor, you know which hotel and which airline you're going to fly with, and TripAdvisor is great at telling you, try this restaurant. Okay, it's got all the reviews, which is fantastic, but it doesn't necessarily have videos of what the offering is. So you might want to go to Turkey and you might want to try a restaurant, but wouldn't it be great if you could see the food in action and how they make it, how they cook it? And also, wouldn't it be great if you just had that personal touch where you contact that restaurant on an instant messaging type of platform, like WhatsApp or or anything like that, and just introduce yourself. Say, I'm coming over. Would like to try your restaurant, try your food, and the business, actually responding to you personally. And that is what Foodilize does, is bringing the personal touch back in the modern world. So that's my grand prediction.
I think that's a very good ambition, and you need dreams and objectives in life, and I think that's a very valid one. I think I better book my next appointment with you in 5 years' time, if you can spare the time to see me.
There'll always be time for you, John, always.
Now, thank you so much. This has been a great opportunity to catch up, and I know we will be speaking more in the future. I'm not going to wait 5 years, honestly. So once again, thank you very much. This has been the University of Essex, Angels at Essex in the University Enterprise Zone. My name is John Stenhouse, and this is Dinal Ahmed. And Foodilize. Keep your eyes and ears open. Thank you very much.